People didn't try to particularly cover their crimes, and even all the way through the trial they wore them, at least the leaders, as a badge of pride. They were talking that they didn't regret doing what they did at all. Much of the case had been built on their own admissions of guilt as well, so in that way it wasn't surprising after all that they would be convicted. Now what is more interesting, of course, is what kind of sentences they will get. This we will find out in a couple of days, but the maximum sentence most of them can get is actually 10 years, because that's the most you can get if you're underage in Russia. So a lot of these people, they were also very young when they were committing these horrific crimes. Some of these people, a couple of them, were found not guilty, but that's because they were mostly members of the same gang, but they were bystanders. They didn't participate in the crimes themselves, but even there it was a very tight decision. It was 6 members of the jury voting to find them guilty and 6 members voting to find them not guilty. Now, for a background into these criminals and the details of their horrific crimes, here is a report by my colleague Denis Kaledin.
The Renault gang case was destined to become high profile. According to the prosecution, 7 teenagers led by Arthur Renault and Pavel Skachevsky committed at least 20 racially motivated murders and 12 murder attempts. The young men picked individuals of non-Slavic appearance, beat and stabbed them.
They kept in touch via mobile phones and the internet. Then they'd get together for what they called actions. Their attacks were always sudden and had one purpose only: to kill.
This brutal stabbing of a man from Tajikistan captured on CCTV is just one of them. But despite its high-profile nature, the trial was held behind closed doors.
Because one of the accused is underage, according to Russian legislation, the case will be closed to the public.
The trial is one of many making headlines in Russia, which involve xenophobia and racism. According to Russian human rights groups, 69 people were killed in racially motivated crimes in the first half of 2008, more than the whole of last year. 70,000 people are believed to be members of various right-leaning extremist groups, a tendency which has led an annual increase in attacks on foreigners of 20%. Yet more and more cases are coming to court, and guilty verdicts are drawing lengthy prison sentences. In May this year, a Moscow court found 8 men guilty of blowing up a multi-ethnic market in the capital in 2006, an attack that killed 14 and injured nearly 50. They received prison terms ranging from 2 years to life. 7 members of the Renault gang have confessed to all the killings in October. 2 other members were acquitted. Denis Kaledin, RT.